Hi, my name's Tony and I'm from the SUP Company, and I'm here to tell you a little bit more about the One Edge Pro 2.0 14 by 23.5 Elite Hollow Carbon. Okay, so here it is. We've already done a video on the One Edge Pro 2.0, but we've had so many requests for this particular size and in this construction that we've decided to do a video focused purely on this board. The reason for those requests are, one, the dimensions, but predominantly it's the construction. And where One have really set themselves apart within the marketplace is they are pretty much one of, if not the only, brand out there currently producing hollow construction boards. That means this board has no foam core, it is a hollow board. This particular one is the Elite construction, so that means it is a full carbon layup. And just to show, it is a very hollow board. Runs a little snorkel out the top as well, so that's the breather on there. The upshot of it being a hollow, have I mentioned that, construction in the Elite Carbon is that this board weighs in at a staggering 10.6 kilograms. You heard that right. That is an exceptionally lightweight 14-foot board. The other upshot of it being a hollow construction as well is that due to the stringers within it that give it its structure, it is an exceptionally rigid board as well. There is zero flex in this shape. Everything that you lay down in terms of power with every single stroke isn't lost in flex. It only does one thing, and that is drive you forwards. The upshot of having such a lightweight board as well is the acceleration is staggering. The nearest kind of board to this from other brands out there, you're looking at around 3 kilos more than this, maybe 2.8 kilos heavier than this board. And that adds up to a massive difference in terms of getting off the line and up to top speed. But look, let's run you through this board, the 14 by 23.5, as we do in all of our videos, down from the nose right the way down to the tail. And the tail is a little bit different on the Edge Pro 2.0, there's no doubt about that. But starting off with the nose, very knife-like, lots and lots of volume, quite soft rails, and the undersection is very flat, and that's generating an awful lot of lift. When you find you're paddling this board, particularly in flatter conditions, albeit it's quite capable in moderate sized chop still, but when you do find that you're paddling this board in those conditions, it generates a lot of lift and it just wants to accelerate very quickly and achieve its top speed very early on. The nice thing that we like in the deck, in order to provide more rigidity to the overall structure, there's this crease that runs over the top of the nose, and that just makes sure the forward section of the board remains rigid. The finish on the nose as well, all of the One boards that we're carrying come in this high gloss painted finish, and I would say the finish is right up there. If not, it's one of the best finishes that we've seen from any paddleboard brand, and that's really testament to the attention to detail that One put into all of their boards. But that runs all the way back down to this matte finish that then runs over the rest of the board, all the way back down to the tail. And it's very simple, very clean, and just does the job. The breather here, they come with this fitted out of the board. It can be removed easy enough if you ever have to drain it for whatever reason. You can do that, but that just pops in as a little snorkel and a reminder that this is a hollow construction. Running back down to the standing area, it's very deep. Now this board at 14 by 23.5 inches wide has 269 litres of volume. I'm currently working quite hard on getting my weight down, so I'm currently around 97 kilos, 97.5 kilos. And I find that when I'm static in this board, I do get a small amount of water around my feet. But the moment I'm paddling, due to this raised center line where the handle sits, that can be removed, but due to this raised center line, water drains out to the ventures very quickly, and the whole cockpit area clears very, very quickly. The ventaries as well are worthy of note, so they're molded into the side of the board, so it's a very, very smooth finish, so it's not interfering with any flow of water over the board when it's moving forwards, which is a really nice touch. They are also very, very rigid, so they are themselves a carbon layup as well, and they're built seamlessly into the construction. As you work your way back though, don't fret. This area here that you're going to climb out of to the tail pad, it's not an ice rink by any stretch. It has a textured finish across it. We'll try and pick that up on the camera as well so you can see that. But it's got this grit finish that underfoot feels very comfortable and really, really secure when you are moving towards the tail section of the board. The tail section on an Edge Pro 2.0 is unique, and that's to say the least. You certainly know when you are following one of these boards that it's something special, and you are without a single doubt when you are paddling it, you are on something very special as well. And that pintail arrangement, and it's easier when we flip the board over, we'll show you, that pintail arrangement means that the board releases exceptionally cleanly off the back. It is very fast as a result and really does reduce the overall wetted surface area on the board also. The other big thing that we found as well with the Edge Pro series is that they track extremely well. That's in part due to the knife-like finish on the nose, but it's the tail that really ties those two elements of the board together. That means the board just tracks very, very straight and true, which means you can get a number more strokes down per side, reducing the number of changes that you're having to make, and therefore there's less interruption to your overall paddling stroke, and it means the board just is faster as a result. But look, while it's still in this position, just to show you how different that tail is, we can just rock it quite easily and simply on the trestles that we have here now. It's worthy of note that the board, compared to other brands of this width, this board is twitchier. It is twitchier underfoot. It does take a little while to get used to. It's not something that we'd ever recommend to someone out there as a beginner looking for their first race board. This is very much aimed at an experienced beginner, an intermediate, and upwards. In order to get the best out of an Edge Pro 2.0, you do have to keep them flat, keep those wings clear, and really make the best use of that tail shape so you keep the wetted surface area reduced. If you do find you have the board up over on its rail when you are paddling, then those wings are going to engage and they're going to save you ultimately, and they're going to allow you to settle down again and then just carry on. But in terms of small chop, those type of conditions, then yeah, the board is still very, very quick, and it will be really rewarding to paddle for a good experienced paddler. But look, let's take the board now and roll it up onto its rail, and it is bonkers as to how light these things are. Up on its rail now, you can see from the underside, so you can see that knife-like section where the nose is coming down and engaging with the front of the water surface there. But it's very, very flat in this forward section. That's generating lots of lift very early on. But then we have quite a deep, pronounced single concave under the main standing area of the cockpit. That's providing an awful lot of secondary stability. So that there is your first kind of level of secondary stability. And then if you would go beyond that, that's when you're really going to start to engage those wings in the tail, and that they can provide a lot more resistance and therefore stability and allow you to get carried on. The single concave though fades as it comes towards the tail, and then it starts to round and then work its way down to a point on the back there. The fin box is a standard US fin box. This particular board, being the Elite Hollow construction, comes with a really nice fin from One, which is a full carbon layup. It's quite similar to some very high-end brands out there in terms of shape, and it's something that we're really happy with and that we necessarily wouldn't look to run off and change straight off the bat, but it's a nice fin that aids with tracking as well. So overall, if you're looking for a very, very lightweight, very rigid and extremely high performance board that is going to reward you every session on the water, then yeah, the Edge Pro 2.0 14 by 23.5 in Elite Hollow is a board you should seriously consider. Every one that we've been fortunate enough to supply With an Edge Pro 2.0 that have come to our shop and demoed it, we've pretty much found that instantly they are getting on these boards and finding that they're seeing a half a kilometre an hour to around 0.8 kilometre an hour jump and increase in their overall top speed from the boards that they've been paddling previously. So there is a noticeable performance gain in this. But look, there you go. If you've got any questions, give us a shout in the shop and we'll be happy to help you out with those. Thanks for watching our video. If you've got any questions about what you've seen, why not give us a call in the shop or head over to thesupco.com. If you want to stay up to date with all of our videos, then click the subscribe button up here and make sure you knock on the notification bell. If you want to see our next video though, take a look up here.